Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Out of ammo, out of time. I'm your host Krabby Terror 8 and here we are in episode 27, I think. Why do I never remember to check this before I do it? Quick, what did I do last time? Yes, it is episode 27 of the Investigator Games with everybody's favorite redeemed cultist, I guess. She doesn't look too redeemed in that shot. Diana Stanley. Looks like, is she going to stab someone or burn them? I'm not sure. Anyway, yes, and for those of you who are new to the channel, I welcome you with open arms. Thank you so much for joining us. For those who have seen a number of these videos, or all of the videos, I welcome you back. I applaud your fortitude for watching me go through these things over and over again like Groundhog Day. Now, what is the Investigator Games? Well, it is like the Hunger Games. We take each investigator in Arkham Horror, the card game, true solo, through a scenario. In Season 1, we took them through The Gathering, and Season 2, we're here in the Midnight Masks. And then we see how they do, and depending on how they do, they end up in a league table like this one, yes. So we can see this is the Midnight Masks league table, and it has the carryover points from The Gathering. So if you haven't seen Diana or indeed any of the investigators and how they do in The Gathering, I would recommend you go back and have a look at least at Diana before watching it here. And yes, the carryover points happen, and then we see how they go. And we can see at the top we've got Roland, we've got Leo, Ashcan Pete, all the way down to poor old Calvin. So yes, and I'm very interested to see how Diana goes. She, not giving away too much in The Gathering, she did reasonably well, but the thing that was the standout of Diana was she finished The Gathering the fastest of any of the investigators in a blistering 7 turns, which was just eye-popping. I'm not sure you can do The Gathering much faster than that, but she managed to do it in 7 turns, which was just incredible. I would have maybe expected someone like Rita to do it faster, or someone with Leo DeLuca, but no, Diana did it in only 7 turns. So we'll see how she goes in the Midnight Masks. Now, spoilers, if you are new to Arkham Horror, the card game, or you haven't played the Midnight Masks, I would strongly urge that you do that first, because I'm assuming that you know how to play at least a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to go through Diana Stanley's stats. Apologies for those who know her well, but I just like to go through stats, mainly for my reasons, because I do so many of these that I forget what all these what all these investigators actually do. So it just helps me to remember, if nothing else. So, and then we'll just go through her deck. Mainly, if you want me, I've gone through her deck in detail in The Gathering. Here, I'll go through what I've changed, and you can disagree with me on that. But we'll do that in a moment, and then we'll play the game. We'll get there in the end. So, yes, Diana Stanley is the redeemed cultist. She is traded cultist and Silver Twilight, so a little bit like Preston. She is a member of the Silver Twilight, which does have some implications if you are playing the Circle Undone, and indeed she is a Circle Undone investigator. Now, her stat line is interesting because she's a flat 3 on Evade, Fight, and Intellect, which is not bad, and then she's only a 1 on Willpower. Now, That's at the beginning, but things change for Diana and her willpower starts to ramp up. And the reason it does that is due to her investigator abilities. So she gets +1 willpower for each card beneath her. And the way that works is there's a reaction trigger after a card you own cancels or ignores a card effect or game effect. If there are fewer than 5 cards beneath Diana Stanley, place that card face down beneath her, draw a card, and gain a resource. And you can do that once per phase. Now, what that means is that she's really about cancelling or ignoring things. So the more cards in her deck with that kind of thing, the better, and she has quite a few of them. I mean, the classic one, of course, which has been around forever, is Ward of Protection, but there are a bunch of others. And so Diana Stanley actually wants to do that, wants to cancel things in the encounter deck. And if you do, her willpower starts to ramp up. So if you've got 5 cards under Diana Stanley, you are literally playing with a willpower of 6, which as a mystic is pretty powerful. And the rest of her stats are not terrible either, so pretty good really. Her Elder Sign effect is a big hefty +2. And you can choose a card beneath Diana Stanley and add it to your hand. So you can trade off the willpower for putting one of those cards into your hand, which then you can use again to cancel. So very nice effects there. And on top of that, she's a 7 and a 7 in her willpower. And her, physical strength, which is not bad either. So let's just have a quick look at the other side of Diana Stanley's card. She's Mystic Guardian, not traded. So she can take Mystic and Guardian cards. Mystic level 0-5, Guardian 0-2. So she's Mystic Guardian, which means she can not only use pretty good offensive spells like Shriveling, of course, but she can also use things like the Machete, for example. She had some special cards: Twilight Blade, Dark Insight, Terrible Secret, and a random basic weakness, of course. And you begin each game with Dark Insight as an additional card in your opening hand. I'm pretty sure that's in there. I hope so. Yes, it is. And here's just a bit of background on her. As a new business owner in Arkham, Diana Stanley... Oh, yeah, the Diana Stanley car wash. Of course. I wondered about that. Wow. As a new business owner in Arkham, Diana Stanley was proud to be inducted into the prestigious Silver Twilight Lodge. Her joy has since turned to dread. Her admittance into the organisation was fantastic for business, but the weekly meetings have grown more and more disturbing. After witnessing strange rituals and terrible secrets. As a new business owner in Arkham... Oh, yes, Diana Stanley Real Estate. I never put the 2 and 2 together. That makes sense now. As a new business owner in Arkham, Diana Stanley was proud to be inducted into the prestigious Silver Twilight Lodge. Her joy has since turned to dread. Her admittance into the organisation was fantastic for business, but the weekly meetings have grown more and more disturbing. After witnessing strange rituals and terrible secrets, Diana has become suspicious of the Lodge's true nature. Now she is convinced that there are terrible forces converging on Arkham, and that the Lodge is somehow involved. Diana is resolved to take it down from the inside, regardless of the cost. Wow, there we go. So yes, there we are. So there we go. There's Diana Stanley's stats and background. Now, if we just have a look at her deck, the starter decks for FFG. That's the other thing. All of the investigators start with the starter decks. They're not optimized. They're not ideal because they assume you've got one core set, and then you've got the campaign set for Circle Undone. So it does tend to limit the cards that the starter deck has. So what I've done here is I've done what I can with the 6 XP that I had to improve that. So I made quite a few changes. So basically what I did was I put in a machete and took out the 45 automatic because the machete is just so good, and we're not using taboo. It's hard enough playing these without taboo. So we've got 2 machetes in there now. I added in another evidence, the reason being that getting clues is a core part of Midnight Masks, so I thought that was a good card to have. I took out the Dynamite Blast because it's a very expensive card, and so I think it's better to not focus on that. I had it in a Holy Rosary for obvious reasons, because that's more willpower, so you could literally be at 7 willpower with the 5 cards underneath plus the Holy Rosary. The other thing I added in was, of course, another shriveling, because there was only 1 in there. So we've got 2 shrivelings and we've got 2 machetes. So hopefully between those 2, we've got plenty of ways to kill cultists if we need to. And we've got the Twilight Blade, of course. And then I added in another Drawn to the Flame. Drawn to the Flame is actually something Diana Stanley really likes, because she can Drawn to the Flame, draw from the encounter deck, cancel that effect, and then she's got another willpower. So actually, whilst Drawn to the Flame is always good, in Diana Stanley it's a must, and it's a really quick and efficient way of getting the clues and adding to the willpower, as long as you've got those cancellation cards in place. Speaking of which, there was only 1 ward of protection in the deck, so I've added another one of those. So there's now 2 wards of protection because cancellation. Hypochondria was the weakness that Diana Stanley randomly drew in the Gathering. So there we go. And I took out Forbidden Knowledge. I never thought that was very much. I took out the Interrogate. I don't know why Interrogate was in there. I suppose thematically it kind of makes sense that she's interrogating people at the Silver Twilight Lodge, but in terms of cards, it just no. So I took out Interrogate, and I took out 1 Prophecy as well. So yeah, because Prophecy again is okay, but I really wanted to make sure that I had those other cards in there. So now in terms of cancellation, we've got Water Protection, we've got Deny Existence, we've got Delay the Inevitable. So we've got 6 cards around that. So hopefully that should mean that we can cancel quite a few cards. So there you go. That's what we ended up with. Dunno, what do you think? I think that's pretty strong. She's a pretty strong investigator as it is, and I think I was able to shore up her strengths there. Hopefully after the Midnight Mass she'll have a whole clutch of XP that we can then use again before she goes into the Devourer below. So yeah, there she is. Diana's just at the house. She's sort of pacing around at the house, very impatient. She's quite an impatient person, actually. I spoke to her in the trailer. Thank you, Miskatonic Trailers. Before we started, she's a very intense individual. I have to say, she's not one for small talk. But we did manage to, and this is where the penny dropped. We did manage to talk about real estate for a while. So she was telling me that there's a couple of properties in Arkham that would be worthwhile investing in. She said Mars Boarding House was actually up for sale and might be a worthwhile investment if you're, not to live in, obviously, but as an asset with ongoing rentals. So maybe, yeah. And she did also say that the house here was also up for sale. We've been using it in the Investigator Games, obviously, but apparently it's up for sale, and she's walking around. Actually, I thought she was just pacing around, but she's actually walking around appraising the house. So maybe she also said that was a good investment, close to shops, schools, and transport. Just a mere 5-minute bus ride to Rivertown. Perhaps if there's anyone out there who's interested in living in Arkham, I guess the thing to do is, and this is not a paid plug because I didn't realise, but call Diana Stanley Real Estate, and I'm sure she'll be able to help you out. So there we go. So I think we're all ready. We're all set up here in Octagon. I think the only thing left to do now is just to read out the good old agenda and act deck, and we can kick off. So, predator or prey, Lita seems convinced of a conspiracy within the city of Arkham. She believes that a secret cult serves the ghouls that live in the crypts beneath the city, and that several of the cult's prominent members are scattered throughout Arkham. As you begin searching for them, you can't shake the feeling that you too are being hunted. Action resign, you don't want to risk taking too long, so you head to safety with the information you've gathered. And uncovering the conspiracy. You have one night to find the members of this cult and unveil their plan. The more members of the cult you can find and interrogate before midnight, the better. Investigators spend 2 clues per investigator as a group. Draw the top card of the cultist deck, find as many unique cultist enemies as you can, and add them to the victory display. If there are 6 unique cultist enemies in the victory display, advance and read the information on the back of the act deck, which is actually quite helpful, which I didn't read until 2 weeks ago. And one thing I should add, I know a lot of you have seen my in-depth analysis of the Midnight Masks. Everything from the lore through the gameplay and the design. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. I've had very positive feedback on it, so that's on my channel. So there we go. I think we're all ready. We're all set up and all ready to go. So let's kick off. We've just got to wait for the... oh, there it goes. There it goes. There's the starting horn. And Diana stops appraising the house, waves at the crowds that are here at Arkham. And I think we are ready to start episode 27 of the Investigator Games. Okay, so what do we want? What do we want? What do we want? Well, a couple of things that we want. Obviously, we want to get a couple, I would say at least a couple of cancel cards, because then if we get a couple of cancel cards with Dark Insight, that'll at least push our willpower up to about 3, 4, at least 4, because it needs to be up there if we're going to use things like shriveling. Obviously, something like shriveling or the machete would be nice, some kind of weaponry, and an ally would be awesome as well. Beat cop it could be, or something like that. And then finally, just some ways of getting clues. We're okay at getting clues, particularly in the early game with the low shroud areas, but drawn to the flame or something like that would be good. So, that's my shopping list. So let's shuffle and let's draw many. Here we go. Let's draw our 5. And yes, what have we got here? So there we go. There's our 3 cancellation cards right there. So we've got 3 cancellation cards, so that's good because you need that. If you don't start with about 3 cancellation cards, you're going to struggle a little bit. Now, of these cards, the Holy Rosary is also good because that obviously boosts willpower even more. Evasion, look, it's a one-off event for a start, so it's not great. And physical training requires quite a lot of resources. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw those 2 in and draw 2 more. Okay. All right. Well, the good news is we've got lots and lots of cancellation cards. Bad news is we didn't get some of the other cards that we need. So that's a little bit annoying because having a shriveling or something, or having an ally that can search up for it, something like that, the Arcane Initiate. So we're just going to have to deal with what we've got. The good news is that with Diana, every time you do use one of these cancellation cards, you get to draw a card, so there's a replacement effect. So it's not the end of the world from that perspective. So there we go. So we're gonna have willpower for days. We just got to make sure that we can actually leverage that in some way. So not the greatest draw to start with, but it's okay. It's okay. So first action. Look, I'm going to spend 2. I might as well. I'm going to spend 2, and I'm going to bring out the Holy Rosary. So we've got that there. We're now playing with a willpower of 2. Second action, I'm going to avail myself of the facilities here, and I'm going to draw a card and gain a resource. So I'm going to draw a card, and I get the flashlight and get a resource. There we go. Flashlight's, again, okay, but not really, you know, not really setting the world on fire just at the moment. And for my third action, I think I'll just go ahead and investigate. So we are a 3 against 2. It's a -1 or better. I don't want to throw my flashlight for this, so I'm just going to -1 or better. Chaos Bag gives me a -2, so we don't do that. Put a doom on the nearest cultist enemy. Well, there are none at the moment. So, yeah, so that's a kind of a bit of a lackluster start for Diana, unfortunately. But hopefully we're something we can cancel in the mythos phase, and then we can, yeah. So let's see. Let's move forward. So we'll move into the enemy phase. No enemies or enemies to speak of. Move into the emergency cache. Yeah, we're really not drawing what we need, you know. Very frustrating, but that's okay. We'll move into the mythos phase. The first doom is down. Let's see what the encounter deck has for us. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That's not something we want to start with. We don't really have any weaponry. I mean, evasion is something we can do, but so here we go. I'm going to use Dark Insight. So I'm going to spend 2. I'm going to bring out Dark Insight. So you fast play when an investigator at your location draws an encounter card. Tick. Cancel that card's effects and shuffle it back into the deck. So we will cancel that, and we will shuffle that back into the deck. We don't want any Hunting Night Gaunts at this stage. Now, this thing goes under our hand. Then we draw a card. We gain a resource. Yep. And we are now running at 1, 2, 3 willpower. So that's good. That's a start. But we're still not drawing what we need. This is so frustrating. But anyway. Okay, so there we go. That's the end of the mythos phase. So we'll move into the investigation phase. 3 actions onto Diana. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, I'm just going to be a little bit, I'm going to just do something a little bit different here. I'm going to play emergency cache. Give ourselves 3. There's 3, isn't it? Yeah, 3. Yep. Second action, I'm actually going to spend 2. And I'm going to bring out physical training, which, you know, is going to set us up as long as we get a shriveling or any kind of weapon. We're going to be okay now. And then third action, I'm going to try and get this clue again. So a 2 versus a 3. Chaos Bag gives me -4. Wow. Okay. It's not happening today. All right. Okay. So we will move forward into the enema phase. There are no enemies. Really slow start. Upkeep. Vicious Blow. Which is great, but unfortunately we've got no weapons, no shriveling. Oh, this is really frustrating. But anyway, hopefully these will all pay off at some stage. So we will move into the mythos phase. We've literally got no clues at the moment, and we're already in turn 3. It's been a very frustrating start. Let's see what the encounter deck has. And the encounter deck has Obscuring Fog. Now, attached to your location. Yeah, I think I might go ahead and cancel that as well. So we will cancel that. We don't want Obscure Fog here. We will put that behind us. We take a horror. Put the horror onto the Holy Rosary. We get to draw a card. And we gain a resource. So we got the Twilight Blade. So that's something because so you use willpower instead of fight for this attack. So that's good because we're now running at a 1, 2, 3, 4 willpower. You may play or commit events and skills beneath Diana Stanley as if they were in your hand. As an additional cost to play or commit a card this way, exhaust Twilight Blade. You cannot trigger Diana Stanley's reaction ability. Right. So you can play or commit cards Right, so you can use the willpower on them if you wanted. Hopefully we would avoid that if needs be. Okay, so there we go. So that's the end of the mythos phase. So we will move into the investigation phase. So 3 actions again on to Diana. Now the first action I think will bring out the Twilight Blade because we need a weapon. So we'll bring out the Twilight Blade. So that's good. Yes, that was first action. Second action, I think we try and get this clue. So it's a 2 versus a 3. Chaos Bag, no, gives us a -2. I can't believe it. Let's just go ahead and do it again. Oh, goodness. So we've had we've just had a ton of really bad draws. It's a good job I didn't commit anything to that, and we're still here, so there we go. So we got our Twilight Blade out. The thing that we are really struggling with is just simply getting clues at the moment. Very, very frustrating. Okay. So we'll move into the enemy phase. There are still no enemies to speak of. We move into upkeep. Oh, evidence. Okay. Well, I guess we could defeat an enemy at our location now, if there were any. But a shriveling would also be nice. We move into the mythos phase. 3 doom. We're halfway through. We haven't gotten anywhere yet, and we've got a locked door with the most clues. We can't cancel this now because these cards would cause you to do something and they don't. So the locked door just goes on to here. So I think this is telling us to forget it. Send it to the back. So this is, hold on. This is locked now. So yeah, I mean, we just have to fight it if we really want to, but I think it's just better to move on, to be honest. I think we will give up on the house and move on. Okay, so investigation phase, 3 actions on to poor Diana. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move. I'm just going to leave the house, forget it. And we will move to Rivertown. Second action, we will investigate. A 1 versus a 3. Here we go, 1 versus 3, and we get a skull. So there we go, that's better. We get that clue. So we've got a clue. And then I think for my final action, I'm actually going to move to the graveyard because we can get some quick clues here. Now, to do that, we have to test 3. Now, we are a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4 versus a 3. Let's throw in the Holy Rosary and make that a 5 versus a 3. That's pretty reasonable. 5 versus a 3. Chaos Bag gives us a 0, so we succeeded. Don't take any horror. So that's great. So this time we actually got somewhere. We got ourselves to Rivertown. We got the clue, and then we got ourselves into the graveyard. So the idea is next time is to get to the 2 clues here. And then we can focus on getting the first cultist out. And try and get some action happening in this game, because at the moment just nothing seems to be happening. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, we move into the enemy phase. No enemies to speak of. We got rid of the one that did come up. Oh, and we get the guard dog. Okay, well that's good. Nice card to have, and one to help us with the masked hunter. So that's a nice card to get. Okay, so we will move in to the good old Mythos phase. 4 Doom down. Let's see what the encounter deck has. And it's got Wings of Darkness. Okay. Wings of Darkness. Now, will cause you to do one of the following. Discard cards, lose resources, lose actions, take damage, or take horror. So you can ignore those things. So this is interesting because if we fail this, we would move to a central location and take the damage and horror. Now, the deny existence wouldn't stop us moving because it doesn't say, oh, you can only do one of the following. So all it would do is stop 1 damage or 1 horror, but it wouldn't stop the other things. So unfortunately, it doesn't really work from that perspective. But I suppose it works from another perspective. So I think we just have to go ahead and just do a 3 versus a 4 because I don't want to commit these as 4 versus a 4. So I think we go ahead. Chaos Bag gives us a +1. Okay, so we got a 4 versus a 4. So we succeeded. Wow, that was lucky. I thought I'll have to go back into the graveyard again. No. Fantastic. Very lucky. Okay, investigation phase, 3 actions on to Diana. Well, let's go ahead and get these clues. So the first action is we will investigate 1 versus a 3. So 2 up, 1 versus a 3. Chaos Bag gives us another +1. Can you believe it? So that gives us another clue. Second action, let's do it again. Chaos Bag gives us a -1, so we succeed again. And we get the victory point. And the crowd goes wild. That's brilliant. We've got 1 action left. So we've got a couple of choices here. We could bring out the guard dog, or we could commit our clues. Well, we do need to bring out the guard dog for when the Masked Hunter, but he won't be here till the time after. So what I'm going to do is I don't want to be holding 3 clues. So I'm going to throw in the 2 clues. Oops. Throw in the 2 clues, and we will get our first cultist onto the board. See who it is. We'll just shuffle them up. And we get Wolfman Drew. Wolfman Drew. Oh, we believe in Wolfman Drew. He's gonna kill us, that's for sure. Okay, so yes, so we got Wolfman Drew. Okay, well, you know, I think he's a sort of more of a late game guy because we can make sure that we're sufficiently ready to take on him. So that's okay. That's fine. All right, so that wasn't bad. We got ourselves a victory point. And then we used a couple of clues to throw in Wolfman Drew. So I feel like we're getting a bit more momentum. We've got to prepare, though, for the Masked Hunter. Speaking of cultists, next time. So enemy phase, Wolfman Drew's just chilling at downtown. So nothing there. And then we move into upkeep. We get the beat cop. Oh, choice. Beat cop or guard dog. Well, actually, the beat cop is less useful with the Twilight Blade, so definitely the guard dog because we're using willpower. Okay, that's the upkeep phase. Hopefully, we can get to use one of these to really boost our willpower up next time. So we move into the Mythos phase. This is the thing with Diana. The Mythos phase actually becomes an opportunity, which is a bit different compared to other investigators. Let's see what the encounter deck has, and here we go. So if you have no clues, I do have a clue. If you have 1 or more clues, test 4. For each point you fail by, place 1 of those clues on your location. Now, I don't think Deny Existence can deal with that. If it was discard cards, but it's not, you just lose a clue. The annoying thing about this is, of course, is if we lose a clue, we lose our victory point. So I think we try and avoid this. So we are a, what is it? It's a 4, isn't it? And we are a 3. We can throw in evidence, so that gives us a 5. I don't know, I want to keep the flashlight, just in case. So that's a 5 versus a 4. Let's just go for it. 5 versus a 4. Chaos Bag gives us a -3. We weren't going to get it anyway. So we place 1 of the clues on our location. Yeah, okay. It's not the end of the world, it's just sort of a bit annoying. All right. Okay, we'll move into the investigation phase. 3 actions onto Diana. First action, I am going to try and get this clue again. 1 versus 3. Chaos Bag gives me that, so it is... Yes, that succeeds. So we get that clue. Now we place a doom on the nearest cultist enemy, and that's no big deal because it's going to flip anyway, so... That's no big problem. Second action, I'm going to spend 3. And I'm going to bring out the guard dog. So we can do a bit of extra damage that way. We've got 1 action left before the Masked Hunter turns up. I'm not going to stay in the graveyard because... it's a dead end, and also I don't want to end up dropping more clues there. Put that back. Or should I draw a card and stay in the graveyard? You know what? I think I'm better off. Actually, I'm better off getting a resource because I can fund my physical training. So that's a better thing to do. Okay. All right. I think we're all ready now for the Masked Hunter. He's not going to have much he's not going to have much luck in this case, I don't think. Enemy phase, Wolfman Drew is just up there. So we move into upkeep and we get Arcane Studies. Yeah. Well, not at the moment. We might use the pips on that one. Okay. And then we will move to the Mythos phase. There we go. There's the 6 Doom. Let's flip. There we go.
Oh, hello, Diana. Nice doggy. I'm just here to talk real estate. Is that house still for sale?
There we go. So there's the Masked Hunter. So we'll just bring the other. Time is running short. Yes, it is indeed. Okay. So we're all set up here. We've just got to hit the encounter phase and then draw from the encounter deck, and then we'll see where we are. You are kidding me, right? Bloody hell. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. That's all right, because we can use some of these dark deny existence, to avoid taking damage or horror, or something like that. So we can do that. Okay. Right, so we've got a bit of a fight on our hands now. So, investigation phase 3 actions on to Diana. Okay, well, I think the thing is obviously is to start doing some. It's clobbering time. Let's deal with this Masked Hunter. We've of course got 6 health. You don't get +1, do you? I just realised. Yeah, you don't. Well, that's annoying. That's going to make this a lot more difficult. Okay. All right, well, first action with the Twilight Blade, we're going to fight the Masked Hunter. So he's a 4, and we are a... how many of these have we got now? 1, 2. We've got 2 underneath. So that's 2, 3, 4. So we're a 4 versus a 4. 4 versus a 4. I've just realised that we could Vicious Blow, so we could actually, instead, we could do a 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm actually thinking we might do this to start with. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to commit these 2 cards. So that gives us a 3, that gives us a 4, that gives us a 5. I can make that a 6. A 6 versus a 4. I better make that a 7 versus a 4. 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4 against the Masked Hunter with a Vicious Blow. Chaos Bag gives me a -3. It's a good job I did. That was right, wasn't it? Yeah, we threw in 2 resources. So that was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 4 -3. So we're successful. So we do 2 points of damage. Whew. Okay, that's a good start. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so now we will, for our second action, we will use the Twilight Blade. Oh, you may use instead of fight. So we can use fight for this if we wanted to. But we wouldn't now, I don't think. We could have put the big cop out instead. Never mind. So 2, 3, 4. So we're running at 4 willpower. We can make that a 5 willpower. We can make that a 6 willpower. So we'll make that a 6 willpower. 6 versus 4. Chaos Bag gives us -2, so we succeed. But unfortunately, we only do 1 damage. Yep. And final go, again, we can do 3, 4, 5, 6. We can do a 6 versus a 4 again. Chaos Bag is -1, so we do another point of damage with the Twilight Blade. It's a pity it's only... I just thought I don't know why. I just assumed it was... anyway. So that's great. That's 4 points of damage. So there we go. We successfully did 4 points of damage to the Masked Hunter. So now it is time for the enemy phase. Okay. So now the Masked Hunter. He's going to do the damage and the horror. So we'll take a damage. We'll put a damage onto the guard dog, which means there's a damage on the Masked Hunter from the guard dog. And then the horror. We'll just take the horror. All right. And then the Hunting Night Gaunt also does a damage and a horror. But what I might do is I might play Deny Existence. So I'm going to stop the... What am I going to stop? I'm going to stop the damage because I don't want to be wasting too much on the damage, to be honest. And then so there's just the horror. So we'll take another horror. So therefore, because we've done that, that goes to the back. We get a draw a card. We get a resource. And we are now running at 3, 4, 5. We're now running at 5 willpower. Fantastic. Okay. So that was the enemy phase. Took a bit of damage, but that's okay. Then we upkeep phase. Oh, delay the inevitable. Okay. Nice. All right. That's another cancellation card. That's a good one. Okay. Let's move into the Mythos phase. So there is 1 Doom down on the next round. Let's see what the encounter deck has for us. Yeah. What? Oh, no. No. Oh, dear. This is just getting worse and worse. This is really going to be tough. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's move into investigation phase. Whew. Okay, what are we going to do first here? Wow. Okay. First thing we're going to do is obviously attack the Masked Hunter. So we are now a 5. A 5 versus a 4. We're a 5 versus a 4. We can make that a 6 versus a 4. Let's go ahead. 6 versus a 4. Chaos Bag is -4. No, we fail. We miss. Second action, we will just do... We'll do that again. A 6 versus a 4. Chaos Bag gives us a 0, so we succeed, and we do another point of damage. And that's the Masked Hunter is now dead. And the victory display, and the crowd goes wild. So we've got 1 action left. I'm going to try evade. I'm just going to try and evade one of these Hunting Knight Gaunts. 1 versus 3. Chaos Bag is an Elder Sign. So we succeed. You may choose a card and add it to your hand. Okay, well, first of all, we can exhaust one of these. So he's back over here. We can we can put one of these back in our hand. Is there any... We could put a... Well, we've got to deny existence, haven't we? Yeah, I might put the deny existence back because that's a really useful card. Because I'm going to play that one anyway, so we'll do that. Okay, so that's the end of our investigation phase. So we managed to kill the Masked Hunter, evade one of the Hunting Knight Gaunts. Oh, we've still got an action left, haven't we? No, we failed. That's right. The first attack failed. Then we did it again, and we succeeded, and then we evaded. Okay, so we move into enemy phase, and yes, the enemy is going to attack us, one of each. What do we do here? Do we? Yes, we deny existence again on the... I think on the horror this time. So, but the guard dog will take a damage, which will damage the Hunting Knight Gaunt, and then that goes underneath. So that goes to the back. We draw a card. Oh, and we get a resource. Oh my goodness. They've done no cards beneath Stanley. Shuffle. Otherwise, for each card, you must either discard that card, or take a horror. Okay. So there are how many? 1, 2. There are 3 cards under. So we either take 3 horror. Wow, that's pretty rough. I don't want to lose these cards because if we do... So I think I'm just going to have to take the 3 horror. I'm going to put 1 onto the guard dog. So the guard dog goes. We're going to take the other 2 horror. Oh boy, that was nasty. Okay. Oh, hold on. I could have played Dark Insight. No, I couldn't. Don't have the money. It's fine. Okay, let's move into the upkeep phase, and we get Hypochondria. They're all coming out at the moment. That's a really bad time for Hypochondria to come out. Ooh, okay. Oh, actually, hold on. But we can spend 2. We can, yeah, because we would have got our resources and drawn the card. Then we can play Dark Insight, cancel that card's effect, shuffle it back into your deck. We'll do that. Put Dark Insight behind, send to back, draw a card. Did I shuffle? I did. Oh my god, no! We got a resource. I don't believe it. Can you believe it? We shuffled. It says shuffles deck. Oh my goodness, how unlucky. How unlucky. Okay. This guy's back with us. All right. Okay, we move into the Mythos phase. Let's see what the encounter deck has. And it's got Obscuring Fog. Okay, that can go there. Send that to the back. Okay, so here we are in the investigation phase. All kinds of trouble here. Oh boy. Whew, I don't know what to do. I mean, we can try and evade both of them and get out, but we've got to do 2 successful evades to do that. or we keep fighting. But unfortunately, we're only doing 1 point of damage at the moment, which means, I mean, it's possible we could, because we're running at a, what are we running at now? A 1, whoops, what are we running at? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 cards under here, so that's 5, 6. We're running at a 6. I think we just fight. I think we just fight with the Twilight Blade and see how we go. So 6 versus 3. So if we can get 3 hits in, we'll kill this Hunting Night Gaunt, then we can dodge the other one, and then we can look to evade. I think that's the best thing to do. Okay, so first action, -2. What are we? We're a 4, 5, 6. 6 versus 3, so that's a damage. Then we will do it again. -1, so we get another damage. And we will do it again. -2, so we kill this Hunting Night Gaunt. There we go. Okay, that's a start. All right, good. Wow, stabbed it to death. Okay. Enemy phase, we will spend 1 and dodge the... Is it a cancel? It is a cancel. Okay, so now... But there are now... How many are under here? 1, 2, 3... 4. Oh, there's only 4 under here, so we can put it underneath. We can cancel that attack. That's great. So we cancel the attack. Whoops. We draw a card, and we get a resource. Nice. Okay, and we got Eldritch Inspiration. Okay. All right, not bad. Upkeep phase, now shriveling arrives. Now it arrives. Well, that's okay because we can go and we're running out of time. So the thing is to get over to Wolfman Drew and and shrivel him. That's what we can do. Okay, so that's the upkeep phase. But before we do all of that, we move into the Mythos phase. There are now 3 Doom down. Let's see what the Chaos Bag has. Chaos Bag, the encounter deck has Crypt Chill. Okay, all right. So it's test 4. Now we're going at 5, 6, aren't we? No, 7. We're going at 7 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're doing. Yeah. Can I group these? Okay. So we are running at 7. We're running at a 7 willpower. So it's a 7 versus a 4. Let's just go ahead and do that. And we get a 3, so we're fine. Okay, wow. All right. Whew. Okay, let's move into the investigation phase. Turn 10. We are running out of time. Let's evade this Hunting Night Gaunt, because killing it would just take too long. Let's get ourselves over to Wolfman Drew. So it's a 1, and we are a 3. Do we use this? Because if we made it a 4, that means we'd be 3 up. So at the moment, it's 1 versus 3, so we're only 2 up. You see, it's about the negative modifiers, though. So if we're 1 versus 3, if we get a -1, that's -2, that's fine. If we get a -2, that's 5. So actually, there's no point committing that because it won't help. So let's go ahead and evade. -1. There we go. That's -2. Yep. So we succeed. We evade the Hunting Night Gaunt. That was our first action. Our second action will move to Rivertown. Third action we'll get over to Miskatonic. Whoops. What am I doing? Miskatonic University. Okay, so the the idea is... oh, actually, what am I doing? No, I'm not going to go there. Sorry, just realised that. That's because I usually go that way. I'm going to move 1, 2 up to East Town instead. Because what we're going to do is next time is get out the shriveling, and then we can fight Wolfman Drew. Okay. Yep. All right. So we move into the enemy phase. Enemies are all exhausted on not doing anything. Oh, we get drawn to the flame. Okay. Nice card. Sort of a bit late, though. It's been a funny game. All right, let's move into the Mythos phase. There are now 4 Doom down. Let's see what the encounter deck has. It's got a locked door. Most clues. That was already got one, so it's going to have to go here. So we won't be getting this clue from here. Okay. All right. So we move into investigation phase. 3 actions on to Diana. First action, we will spend 3. And we will bring out the shriveling. Now, there's no point moving because if he attacks, he'll heal damage. So that was first action. We got 2 actions left. So we would move, we would get 1 attack in, and then he would heal the damage back. So we're kind of in a situation where we've sort of got to wait to do it. So either we could, there's a couple of things we could do. We could get rid of hypochondria. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of hypochondria. So hopefully next time we can get rid of Wolfman Drew. We can move in and we can hit him twice. When did that Doom go down on Wolfman Drew? That should have come off him because that happened in the, I think, before the Masked Hunter. Let me just have a look. Yes, that Doom should have come off. Okay, so let's move forward. So that's the plan, but we've got to get through an enemy phase first. So the Hunting Night Gaunt moves to Rivertown. Wolfman Drew doesn't do anything. Upkeep, we get Overpower. Oh, that's good. Okay. I mean, it's good that this card is instead of you may use, you don't have to. So that's the upkeep phase. So we move into yet another Mythos phase. We're really running out of time. Let's hope the encounter deck is okay with us. The encounter deck gives us a acolyte. Okay. I'm just going to put this acolyte here in St. Mary's Hospital. We really don't need to be messing with him. Okay. All right, let's move into the investigation phase. 3 actions onto Diana. First action, we will move to downtown. Yep. Wolfman Drew engages us. Second action, we will shrivel Wolfman Drew. So we're running at a 5, 6, 7, a 7 versus a 4. 7 versus a 4. Let's make that an 8. An 8 versus a 4. Chaos Bag gives us a -1, so we succeed. We don't take any horror. Wolfman Drew takes 2 damage. Excellent. Whew. Okay, we will do that again. So we will shrivel again. Wolfman Drew. So it's again 5, 6, 7. 7 versus a 4. Let's throw this in and make it an 8 versus a 4. Chaos Bag gives us a +1. So we kill Wolfman Drew, shrivel him to death, and that's another victory point. And the crowd goes wild. So there we go. That went according to plan. We moved and we shriveled. We came, we saw, we shriveled. Done. So we're going to have 1 go left. So probably the thing to do will be to probably just draw into the flame to get another victory point. And then I think we can resign. So that's what we will do. So enemy phase. Yes, the Hunting Night Gaunt moves to East Town. Upkeep phase, we get the knife. Yep. So we'll move into the Mythos phase. So there's now 6 Doom, 7 Doom on here. So we literally have 1 go left. Let's see what the encounter deck has for us. And it's got Hunting Shadow. You must either spend a clue or take 2 damage. I'll just spend the clue. Doesn't matter. We don't have to drop the clue at least. Okay, so that's all fine. And then we will move into the investigation phase. So we don't have time, but what we can do first is we can draw onto the flame, draw from the encounter deck, mysterious chanting, 2 doom on the nearest cultist enemy. And that's here. Yep. That goes, and we get both the clues. And we get a victory point, and the crowd goes wild. There we go. And so what did we do? We did the draw into the flame. We've got 2 actions left, but we might as well just resign at this point. So in turn 13, we resign. Crowd goes wild. Diana waves to the crowd. Yeah, so there we go. Poor old Diana. She really had a really rough start. She had a rough start from the draw. I mean, the draw at the beginning really made things difficult for her. She just couldn't find the weaponry she needed at the very start. No shrivelings, no machetes. I mean, she did get the Twilight Blade, but it was less than ideal. And then just not being able to get the clues at the house, that was really strange. And so we really got off to a slow start, and then we were hit with the Mars Hunter and 2 Hunting Night Gaunts, which really made things rough. However, she still did manage to get 2, 3, 4, 5 victory points despite all of that. So pretty good, all things considered. I think Diana's one of those investigators where it can be quite swingy about the way things go. Sometimes they can go amazingly well. Sometimes they can be more challenging. And of course, the Midnight Masters is challenging at the best of times. But she managed to bag herself 2 cultists and managed to get a couple of other victory points besides. So not too bad, but a very frustrating round. But that's the way it goes in the Investigator games, and particularly the Midnight Masks. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, of course, and subscribe. Now, next time in the Investigator Games, we will be going forward with the Guardian from the Dream Eaters campaign, which, of course, was Tommy Muldoon. Yes, we will be in part 28, Midnight Masks. But until then, I'm Krabby Terror 8. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.